If you're looking for practical, ready-to-use ideas to engage your students, you're in exactly the right place. Today we'll be looking at how to jumpstart your struggling readers. I share classroom activities, writing tasks, and fresh teaching ideas regularly, so hit subscribe to get ideas on keeping your lessons active and relevant. We know that teaching students who have struggled with English can be challenging. These 8 lessons give us a clear and manageable starting point. Our first aim is to help students participate, experience success, and begin to believe that they can learn English. So let us look at how to do this. Before we look at the lessons, picture the students in the room. They do not all begin at the same level. Some can understand and use a little English, while others have almost no usable classroom language. Their vocabulary is limited. Even if they manage to sound out a word, they may not understand it. Most recognize the letters, but some still struggle to blend sounds and read smoothly. Most importantly, many of these students have experienced difficulty in English for years. Their confidence is low and they've stopped trying because they expect to fail. This is the classroom these lessons are designed for. 4 decisions guide the program. First, key language is connected to stable symbols. Once a symbol has been taught, it always keeps the same meaning. Second, we build meaning through oral modeling, symbols, actions, and examples. We can use a little L1 support if it genuinely helps, but we do not want to translate everything. Third, we teach language to students that they can use in real classroom situations. Finally, the routines gradually prepare students to work more independently. Every lesson follows the same general structure. You retrieve earlier language, then you introduce today's functional focus, listening, speak, and build, and finish with a smooth reading and a portfolio sentence. This predictability reduces anxiety. Students do not have to learn a completely new way of working in every lesson. They can put more into their effort into the English. We begin by retrieving selected useful language from earlier lessons. The teacher or their partner reads a prompt, and students point to the matching symbol and say the complete line. Whereas quick words are words students need to recognize rapidly in familiar phrases. Again, students point, read, and practice them in short chunks without stopping to analyze every sound. This also gives students an important early success. They discover that they remember language from previous lessons. Each lesson has one clear functional focus and a small amount of useful language. Students learn language they can use immediately. For example, asking for help, or explaining how they feel, or saying what helps them learn. There is optional stretch language for students who are ready, but completing the core tasks remains a worthwhile achievement and they feel that they've actually learned something. The teacher reads the same short conversation 3 times. Students listen for a different purpose each time. First, the main idea, then the order, and finally, specific information. They are not expected to understand everything the first time. Repetition lowers anxiety and gives them another chance to succeed. The supported route may use fewer items. These are for our weaker students. They are taught symbols, pointing, matching, or step cards. Every cue must be introduced before students are expected to use it. The teacher must always model the language first, and the class repeats in a controlled manner. Students then point, repeat, and practice with a partner. Sentence building activities allow students to practice the word order without having to create the language from nothing. Support is reduced gradually. Students who still need support, model, or oral prompts can continue using it while taking part in the same lesson. So everybody will remain involved. There is no that I cannot do it option. I like this one. I've called it smooth reading. It's a short fluency activity. Students track the text, repeat after the teacher, and reread short sections containing useful spelling patterns and word chunks. Take note, they do not need to understand the text at all. This is not reading comprehension, and we do not teach vocabulary from these passages at all. The aim is blending, chunking, and smoother reading. Students then record one true sentence from the lesson into their portfolio, and this happens across the 8 lessons we're going to do. These sentences become visible evidence of progress, and they can actually physically see this progress, which is motivation. We have different levels. All students work towards the same language outcome, but they may receive different amounts of reading support. Some students complete all the items and write independently. Others work with fewer items, hearing the prompts read aloud, point to choices or symbols, meaning even those who cannot decode a word can still be active. Weak reading must never remove a student from listening or speaking. Every student still points, chooses, and says the completed line. So what do our 8 lessons look like? The sequence is deliberate. Lessons 1 and 2 help students manage basic classroom situations. Lesson 3 and 4 gives them language to talk about themselves. Lesson 5 and 6 helps them think and speak about their learning. Lesson 7 and 8 introduces routines for following steps and starting a page more independently. We are not trying to repair every gap in 8 lessons. We are establishing the language routines and confidence. We want students to have confidence before moving on to our course books. There is a lot of support in these lessons. Teachers should deliberately form mixed groups of 4 or 5 students with at least one stronger reader in every group. The stronger student may model the reading, but does not become the teacher or translate everything or complete the work for other students. The teacher remains responsible for teaching and modeling the language. Every student, as I said earlier on, must still participate, point, repeat, speak, and complete their own role. Okay, we distinguish between quick words, core language, and bridge language. So what are quick words? They are recognized rapidly in familiar print and chunks, whereas core language is explicitly taught, practiced, and retrieved. whereas the bridge language helps students complete the tasks, but it may be supplied orally and it's not required for independent recall. This allows us to teach useful vocabulary without overwhelming our students. And again, participation is not dependent on readers. Students can still be involved by listening and repeating. Everybody has to be participating in all the steps. This is a super important part of the whole program. So why does this logic hold together? Because the same structure reduces the mental load. Students can concentrate on the language because the lesson routines are familiar. Retrieving selective language helps it become more automatic. Small, visible successes build confidence. And we always have an exit check, which helps students recognize what they can now do. Confidence is not an extra outcome here. It's one of the conditions students need in order to continue learning. Okay, so let's run through the basics. The basic sequence is simple. Retrieve, introduce the functional focus. Students listen, they then speak and build. And finally, they complete the brief, smooth reading and portfolio work. We know this class can be difficult to teach. Progress may be gradual, and students will not all respond at the same speed. Teachers should not feel that every difficulty must be solved immediately. Our aim is to create a classroom that is structured, supportive, and purposeful. If students begin to participate, take small risks, and believe that progress is possible, we have built the foundation that we need. Okay, in the description below, you'll find 3 links. One to the teacher's guide, one to the student pack, and one to the activity pack that you will print out and cut up for the students for the lessons. I hope this video has made it clearer in how to use this program. If you have any questions, write in the comments below. Please subscribe if you'd like more of this.